Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome to episode 122 of the Young Kings Wrestling Podcast, featuring the Sovereign Soundboard. As always, you can find us on most platforms streaming podcasts, including Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. If you're listening to us on iTunes, leave us that 5-star review. Links to all the platforms and the merch, as you see right here, your NWO-inspired Black Lives Matter tees, as well as our logo tees as well. You can find them on youngkingswrestling.com, ykWrestling.com. Also, if you join us, if you follow us on Twitter, join in the conversation using the hashtag YKWPod. Now, obviously, as you can see, we're doing things a little bit different today because I am Ravishing Reek Rude, and I'm joined by, as always, the thespian TC Fontaine, who is in rare form today because he got something he got to say. My brother, what's going on?
What's going on, man? How you feel?
I mean, I'm cool. I'm cool. I had my moments. You know what I'm saying? This has been a week. You know, I had a lot of this going on, but I'm cool right now. I'm cool.
Me too, man. Me too. I got something to say.
I'm packing the air. This guess what?
Peasants, few peasants.
I don't mean to start this year off on negativity. Happy New Year to y'all. It's 2022. We staying positive. There's nothing but good vibes all year long. But when you're in 2021 with some negativity that literally lingers over into 2022, you can't help but address it. This is, I don't know who to give this to. So this is just a wide net. All Elite Wrestling bringing them asses here, boy.
Bring that ass here, boy.
Oh man, listen, man, y'all fucked up, man. Y'all might have got your last view from me. Like I was considering it briefly, but now I really feel like y'all got your last view from me, and I know my one little view. I watch one show. AEW is Wednesday Night Dynamite. I don't watch Rampage no more because they kind of slowed down on that. We don't watch Dark. We told y'all that. I mean, unless somebody on Dark that we mess with, we will tune in. Fast forward through everything, watch literally the 2-minute match that person is in, and then we get done. So I know my one little view doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, but I can't do it anymore. First off, Brandy Rose, ma'am, you did it again. You came out here again, and as soon I'm watching Dan Lambert. Dan, he's entertaining. Like he one of the few people on this show on the microphone who entertains me on a consistent basis. So I don't mind his presence. Like I think this whole thing he doing with Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky is kind of, jumped the shark because they didn't win a goddamn thing all year long. Like the only thing Scorpio Sky won, which is crazy. I'm gonna get to this in a sec. Actually, no, I'm gonna get on this right now. Scorpio Sky won a ladder match back in like February or March. Did you forget about that? Because I definitely thought that shit happened in 2020. That's how irrelevant it was. This man lost the match, the title match that he got a couple days later, and did nothing of note for the rest of the year. And this happened in like March. So anyway, Brandy comes out, and as soon as I heard, who told you it was open mic, I looked at my TV like, oh, This is what we doing. You at it again. I was like, you at it again. It was kind of whatever. It was just like, all right, let me take a sip of my water real quick. I'm sorry.
Mrs. All Lives Matter.
Yeah, Mrs. All Lives Matter. So usually she come out there cutting them promos or whatever. Usually her presence on the show, I just kind of wait for it to end so I can pick back up in my enjoyment again. I didn't even get the opportunity. I have no idea what happened on Dynamite after this because I turned the TV up. I heard the line, "Oh, you're a black belt? Well, I'm a black bitch."
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
I turned the show off. It was that bad. It was really that bad. I'm not going to enable a minstrel show. Disregard that. I got an email. I'm not going to enable a minstrel show on my television. I'm not going to do it, especially from a black woman married to a white man. I'm just not going to do it. I can't. Is my Negro spirit will not allow me to just be a part of this, to have any association with this. And it was whatever. I was just like, I can't watch this show no more until she go away again. Yeah. Hopefully she just go away, raise your daughter. This is what I requested a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you remember. I said the same thing. Go raise your daughter and leave us alone. Because we will. And like the problem with Brandy is that she thinks like people want to see her and she thinks she's just healing it up and she's like playing into it. No, you remember that term X-Pac heat?
Oh my God.
This is beyond X-Pac heat. Because at least like X-Pac was entertaining, but it was just like folks was kind of over him at that point. Brandy just does not bring anything to the table, and she thinks she does. That's the problem. And so I was just like, that was it. But we fast forward 2 days later. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to Big Swole. Shout out to Big Swole. I did not know she had a podcast, like a black podcaster. Shout out. Big shout out to Big Swole. And she just kind of wasn't really like letting loose. It was more so just like, she mentioned, her departure from AEW, what happened. She basically said her heart was not in it anymore at this point because, she's a black woman. That's 2 strikes against you in AEW. You're black and you're a woman. Like the women, the white women barely get time on the show if you're not Britt Baker. That's facts. Or so the white or Ruby recently, because Ruby came from WWE and apparently they got to stick it.
They trying
to the like.
They making such a point.
That's like the female John Moxley for them right now. Apparently, like it's she's just not talking her shit as much. But Big Swole said her heart wasn't in it. She mentioned how the fans, they can't take criticism well. So she had to preface with that. They can't. That's a true story. But she was not criticizing AEW. She wasn't critical of AEW really, her experience necessarily. She was very complimentary of her experience. She said she enjoyed the time there. She enjoyed who she worked with. She just mentioned how some things needed to be different. And that kind of led to her wanting to go, which is true. Like, it's a lot of stuff we talked about. There's a lack of structure. She talked about the lack of structure, people just going out there doing their own thing, and there's no free flowing, which is for some reason a thing people complain about in WWE, but you see it ain't no problem for them. Like business is booming. So structure in a business, in a company is probably the most essential thing in a company. Is having some structure, because nothing's going to work without it. Even us, we got structure over here. We see how we run the show. Like we got things that we do, and it flows. Like we ain't just coming on here and just talking and having a conversation. Like we got shit mapped out every single week. This is what we do. So why would AEW why would they operate any differently? I don't know, but whatever. She talked about the lack of structure with the show, and that's obvious on television. And she also talked about how women aren't given opportunities to really improve themselves because you keep bringing in all these people. You're bringing all these new people who are taking up TV time, and it's taking away essential TV time. And the only time certain women like Big Swole got to get any reps in this company was on AEW Dark. Like we said, those matches are pretty short. And when you have like what's that show, like an hour and a half, excuse me, goddamn, talking like an hour and a half, 2 hours long, but then you pack it with like 15 matches. What do you expect? Nobody's going to get their reps. That's why WWE, they do house shows. So certain people who are not on television can get reps. So like you totally stray away from running house shows. Not, you got to run a WWE schedule with house shows, but it is essential because when you just send these people out to go wrestle on the indie scene, they're wrestling more people who are below their skill level, not at their current skill level. Nobody's improving. It's just going through the motions. That's how that works. Right. Why do I know this? I don't even run a wrestling company. I know this.
It's just a simple concept. We talking about practice.
We talking about practice. I remember y'all. I remember y'all was mad too. You niggas. I remember y'all was mad when WWE went back on the road, and y'all was mad because Vince McMahon wanted people to get some reps in. You mean the people that only wrestled once a week for over a year? You mean to tell me he wanted them to get some reps in before they go back and start wrestling them a whole lot more than they have been for a year? And that was a problem. Like everything they do is a problem. And I don't get it. I'm not sticking up for them or nothing. But I just want to say, like, why is it a problem when they do things that other businesses do and the AEW don't do those things and y'all praising them for it? Like, why are y'all praising a lack of structure? Why are y'all praising facts? Why are y'all praising not having a performance center for people to train at and get better? I don't understand it. But anyway, however, her biggest issue was the lack of diversity for Black talent. Wonder where you heard that from before on this show. Ooh. This ain't the first time we talked about that. She talked about how her daughter, understandably, I got the Hurt Business shirt on. She talked about how her daughter kind of stopped watching after they broke up the Hurt Business because, she ain't seen her daddy on TV as much. But then she turned on AEW and she not seeing no people who look like her on the TV. So she asking, why is nobody that looks like mommy on this show? Or nobody who really looks like daddy on this show consistently? We asked the same question hundreds of times on this show. Why are we not being featured more? No offense to anybody, I don't necessarily care about the representation for Asian people or Latino people because I don't resonate with that. They're not me. It's cool to see a wide range of diversity on screen, but I would like to see more Black people get opportunity. I've seen Rio, Hikaru Shida were women's champions in this company.
Yep.
Sammy Guevara was just a TNT champion. You know what I mean? So they're getting the representation, whereas what are we getting? We got this unofficial championship that never gets seen that Ricky Starks is just running around with. Is that's the bone we supposed to get? Please. You gonna throw us a bone this week on the TBS tournament with Jade?
The Hoes belt. Yeah,
the Hoes belt. You gonna throw us a bone with that after all this? I'm gonna talk about that in a second. But anyway, meanwhile in Jacksonville, Tony Khan wipes his nose off after ingesting that Twitter finger activation powder. And he responds with the following. I got the whole quote. The top two, I'm about to just read, I'm going to read how this is actually written on Twitter. Excuse me. The top two at AEW, he tagged his own company. The top two at AEW execs are brown, in parentheses, me and Mega, which is their legal department head. I had to look that up because nobody knows who that is. 2 exclamation marks. Jade, Bowens, Caster, Dante, Nyla, Isaiah, and Mark Quinn all won on TV this month. That's true. More on that later. The TBS title tournament has been very diverse. I let Swole's contract expire as I felt her wrestling wasn't good enough. Hashtag AEW Rampage Street Fight tonight! Exclamation mark. Again,
That's cat.
you're taking the wrong type of bumps. You're taking the wrong type of bump. Let me break that down. First, a valid criticism. Let me take another sip of water. I've been talking a lot.
Boy, dude's capping. I'm just saying.
I don't know how long I've been talking. I'm sorry. This is why Reek did the intro, because I know y'all didn't want to hear my voice this long. Sorry. Let me break that down. First, you can't lead off in the response to this valid criticism with that I have black friends energy. That's a bad look. That's a really bad look. Not only that, you missed the entire point in what was a valid criticism, something you can learn from, something that has been brought up to you multiple times. I'm going to get on that. You turned it into a slam session. You waved that flag. You threw that flare up, which brought the whole mob. You knew what you was doing. Very Trump-esque. I've talked about this before. Very Trump-esque. And then to insult her wrestling, talent, and regardless of her skill, and yeah, like Swole is still a little green, like she's a little rough around the edges. That's true, but she a lot better than a lot of people in that company. And regardless of that, go
real
ahead.
Quick though, real quick. I don't even want to hear that because everybody suddenly forgot the quote that he gave when Swole was out, because he said,
let me read it.
Specifically. Let
me read it.
Pull that up.
That was the next thing. Let me read it. He said, and I cut some of this other stuff out because he was probably full of shit and he was rambling. That's what it seemed like. Swole's a great wrestler. She's got a great personality. I think in the ring, she's gotten better and she can continue to get better. I really like Swole. That's very interesting. That was just 9 months ago. That was 9 months ago. That was like right before the Sparkler pay-per-view. I think that was on a call for that because that's when the date was around that time. Is not good enough wrestling all it takes to be let go from AEW?
Imagine that.
Because I mean, there's a lot of people just not entertaining enough for television getting let go from other companies, and y'all throw a hissy fit. But somebody who's not good enough for wrestling, that's how they get let go from AEW. Did I miss the memo when Luther's contract wasn't renewed also? Did I miss when Botcher and Bland got renewed? I seen him on TV just recently. Joey Janela's still on the payroll. You know what I'm saying? And how often in the last year were we subjected to seeing QT Marshall on our television screens wrestling?
Ooh. See, I'm supposed to be the calm one. Don't do this to me, bro. I'm supposed to be the calm one. Don't do that.
Let me get it. No offense. No offense. I love me some Jade Cargill, but her skill level might be lower than Swole's. And she is in the final of the Hoes tournament. Speaking of the Hoes tournament, how is the diversity of that field relevant to Swole's comments? Because it's kind of like what I was just saying. Is she supposed to be happy that there's Asian representation in this tournament and there's Hispanic representation, like Thunder Rosa getting shots and everything? Like Nyla Rose and Jade, I believe, got a bye in the first round. But yeah, like, okay, that's cool. I mean, we already talked about Nyla Rose. Like, yeah, she's black, but I mean, she's native, and the native is actually promoted more. So I don't think people even think about Nyla Rose when we're talking about black wrestlers in AEW. Real quick, you didn't even book Swole in the tournament either, so I don't know why you brought that up for her. She mentioned black for a reason. That's what we do. That's why I hate the term people of color. I hate that term so much because you grouping everybody's problems in one and separating everybody from white people, which I think is problematic in itself. But anyway, that's listen, I don't think wrestling fans are equipped for that conversation, so I'm not going to go into it.
No, they're not.
But the point, simply the point goes over your head, Tony Khan, and then you end the tweet promoting your show. Yeah. Also a bad look. And then you got after that, like I said, he threw the flares up, brought the mob. white people butting into conversations that they just aren't qualified for, that they don't have the facilities for, my brother.
Yeah.
You're jumping into stuff you're not qualified.
You ain't qualified to give motherfucking rules on the fucking game, you fucking bozo.
And I think it's important because I love how people want to jump in and say, oh, that's racist, that's racist. No. You don't have a certain perspective about this conversation. So it's not racist to say, listen, stay out. You remember how you was a kid, you heard your folks talk and stuff like that, and you was standing around there saying, oh, what y'all talking about? It's grown folk business. It's the same concept. This is a conversation that you don't have perspective on. You don't see it through the lens that we do. So when we say, y'all need to stay out of black folks' conversation, that's what the hell we talking about. Because you cannot contribute the viewpoint that we have. You can contribute your viewpoint from the outside, but that's not what we're talking about. Exactly. That's not it.
It's the same, like y'all trying to shut Swole down. It's kind of the same with that. You lack the actual experience. She was actually working for that company.
Right.
She was actually getting paid by that company. Were y'all? No. But y'all just want to, kiss the ass of this billionaire's son like you've been doing for the last 3 years. It's kind of weird. Anyway, but then you niggas. You niggas. And when I say you niggas, I don't mean the you niggas, our monthly, our once a month co-host Malik. I'm not talking about the you niggas he talking about. The you niggas I'm talking about are in the ring. That's what I'm talking about. Powerhouse Hobbs. Oh, Powerhouse Hobbs.
Anybody deserves a Coon Award, it is your ass, boy.
I mean, you came in with the Notes app statement. You came in with the Notes app I can't talk. You came in with the Notes app statement take on this situation. One, like anybody really asked you about it. And he came in, I'm not going to quote this long ass thing, but basically I summed it up for y'all. He said, I've been featured in some heavy ass spots since signing to AEW. And then he mentioned what spots he was talking about. CM Punk, he lost. Christian Cage, he lost. Brian Cage, he won that. I don't think nobody saw. Hangman Page, he lost. And then he mentioned when he ran out and saved John Moxley, which led to nothing. I think he lost to John Moxley too. He talked about how they've been there since the passing of my mother. That's valid. That's cool. Like, I can't take that away from them. Talked about how Cody and QT Marshall played a tremendous part in getting him signed. Okay, I can see why you'd be grateful for that because I don't think nobody really knew who you were on a national level before that. I can't be mad at that either. But then he closes it out. Lastly, if you have an issue with someone, pick up the phone.
You know how bitch. You know how in the mafia movies when one of them gets pinched, they go to jail, and the head, the dude at the top, the Don, gets concerned that he might start snitching, and next thing you know, some funny shit start happening in the prison. Saying the guards just miraculously go missing off their duty, and all of a sudden one day they come in and the dude winds up hanging in the prison cell.
Yeah,
that's what's going on right here.
Oh yeah,
that's what's going on. That's exactly what's going on right here. Because I love how a select few of these motherfuckers all of a sudden started quoting their own experiences, like giving their 2 cents in, like, oh, I mean, I'm featured on TV. I don't know what she's talking about, but I'm getting mines on TV on a regular basis. I love the quote from Jade. I love that.
I didn't have enough time to go find everybody, but Jade, I'm sorry, girl.
That was just appropriately timed.
Yeah, appropriately timed. I don't, and maybe she, listen, there's a right and a wrong place in time to be in character.
Yeah.
And this was not it, Jade. But Powerhouse Hobbs, listen, bro. Okay, you talked about your experiences. Yeah, they were there for you when your mother passed. Like, you grateful to certain people for getting you signed. That's cool. But your last match on Dynamite, September 8th. September 8th. I don't remember who he faced. I didn't write that name. I think Brian Cage. I think it was a match versus Brian Cage that he won. Was his last match on Dynamite. That's 4 months ago, sir. You don't even get on TV that often, which is literally the problem that Swole was talking about. There ain't no diversity. You don't get on TV that often. How many times we talked about wanting to see Powerhouse Hobbs get an opportunity, get more opportunity? Exactly. When you do get on TV, you lose a lot. You lost to Orange Cassidy in what? Like how many minutes? When you should have been winning against Orange Cassidy. You play a lackey to a 19-year-old and his Oompa Loompa shaped father. So I don't really see how you getting much of an opportunity, sir. And then some nigga named Sean Dean wanted to comment and talked about how, I'll wrangle all the black people to appear on AEW Dark. That's basically what he said. One, who the fuck is Sean Dean?
Yeah. Who are these niggas?
Who is he? And then to nobody's surprise at all, Leo Rush interjected himself into the situation.
I love this.
I
love this.
Came in with some.
This is my favorite one.
Oh man, came in with some energy, and this is crazy. You know it's bad. You know it's bad when I'm just like, yo, you full of shit. Because as soon as I seen him posting, trying to force Tony Khan to apologize, I was like, bro, you full of shit. I knew it because somebody must have sent him a picture to his phone of his family from a random number in Jacksonville or something, because this man was shook. He walked back all that energy he had a whole, not even 24 hours later. Not even. It was like 17 hours later. This man.
He was that dude in the cafeteria that was making a lot of loud noise like he about to fight. But realistically,
what's up? What's up? Swing first, swing first. That's him.
Right. He making that scene so everybody hype him up and get the circle around him like, nah, you ain't doing nothing. Shut up. Please shut up.
This man had like five really subtle tweets on the situation before he like tagged Tony Khan in a tweet. Only real one really had something to say about this was Darius Lockhart. He had a long ass thread. And one, I talked about Darius Lockhart a few weeks ago. This man's going places in this industry. I don't know if that's a wrestler, manager, promoter. I don't know what his calling is in the industry, but whatever it is, he got it. He got it all. And I really thought this man, this whole time, I thought he was older than me. This man's like 4 years younger than me. And that's crazy. I'm still in my 20s. So this man like 25, 26. It's crazy. He come off like he in his mid 30s or something, man. Like that's real. I don't know if it's like the Panther get up and it's just giving me that Fred Hampton vibe, because Fred Hampton was 21 when he got assassinated. This man, you would have thought he was in his 30s. Same. Anyway, like he says that he tried to talk to Tony Khan about, fixing the issue. Like he said he came with a flash drive that had a PowerPoint on it. He was just on AEW Dark a few weeks ago. So, he was in touch. He said he came in with a flash drive, talked about how you could improve the problem with the representation for his people. A lot of folks actually try to make the change, try to do something different, because you got that machine up there in Stanford. They running things their own way. It works for them. So now we got to try something else. Like they just started featuring Black people in the main event on a consistent basis like 3 years ago.
Right.
So like around the time AEW came to be, and AEW, they still twiddling their fingers saying certain guys aren't ready. How's Ricky Starks not ready yet? How is like Powerhouse Hobbs not ready yet?
You know what's funny too? Powerhouse Hobbs is just Wardlow and a different guys. And Wardlow getting pushed like Ryback in 2012 when he first came out.
Taz's son is getting pushed more than Powerhouse Hobbs is. And they in the same faction. This man has had like 3 matches ever in his career. Both of them happened last month.
Yeah, I can't explain how befuddled I was seeing this man no selling moves in his second
match. He no-sold a pile driver in his second match. I don't care that his daddy used to do the same spot. It's stupid.
Like, and listen, I I don't even care
His
about
dad
that.
was fucking swole too. Like this dude looks like fucking Tom Holland. I said that a few weeks ago. He looked like he was in One Direction. Looked like one of them niggas.
Like I honestly, I wouldn't even use that Taz's background as an excuse ever, because it's like we got to have a legitimate conversation. Taz was a real one, but Taz was not what
Taz was 5'2".
Yeah. Like only thing about Taz was he had real appeal. Like if you saw him on the streets, he would really fuck you up, and that carried the gimmick.
Yes.
So that you didn't have to suspend belief too much. You know what I'm saying? Taz was not like the biggest, baddest dude in the promotion that he was in. Like we got to stop that conversation when we, go into, oh well, this is the lineage. This is and Hook is just carrying the torch. No. We're not going to do that. That's what we're not going to do when we have that conversation.
Nah. But Darius Lockhart, he ends everything saying like, yo, this paycheck ain't even worth this shit. Like, I can't deal with it. Really the only real one, because like if any of them other motherfuckers was real in that company, they would have said the same thing. But no, they had to hide behind it because their livelihood was threatened. Have some integrity, my guy.
Yeah.
What a mess, man. This is a mess. Apologies to anybody who really cared about our AEW analysis on this show. There's been requests wanting to hear more, and that won't be happening going forward because you got to watch the show to really analyze it, and we won't be watching it. At least I won't be watching the show. I can't speak for Reek. Reek was barely watching the show before, so
yeah, that's a problem. I mean, like I said from the jump, like if it's not Bryan Danielson or Adam Cole, I don't really have an investment to watch anyway. So
yeah,
I mean,
I can check that out on YouTube.
Yeah. Like I might catch an occasional match here or there, but after this shit, I mean, y'all got that. Ice can't be thin enough. Like that's about to do it for me. And really for me, like none of that about Tony. That situation shocked me at all.
Nah,
but it was.
I seen some people be. This isn't like Tony Khan. Like what evidence did you have about this company over the last 3 years that made you think that this wasn't going to happen at some point on the company's birthday too? Though on the day that they launched, you killed a company. Imagine that.
Which is exactly why. And I've been sitting on this thought ever since the Brandy shit happened. And it was crazy. It just progressively got worse. So now I got to add this person into the mix. I said it, and at the time that I was thought of it, it might have been a bit of a reach or a little bit dramatic, but now everybody's going to understand it clear as day because it's obvious. AEW is going to crumble terribly thanks to now 3 people. I was just gonna leave it to Cody and Brady because my original thought was that the people who put this stock in creating the company are going to be the ones who destroy it single-handedly. But then Tony had to jump in and say, oh, wait for me. I got to get on the bandwagon too. I'm like, okay, fair enough. The guy who financed this company with the people who helped build it are going to be the ones to destroy it. Plain and simple. I don't know what the timer is. I'd say maybe a year, 2 years. I want to be generous, but the timer started. Because this was that week where y'all just made it a point, because it's like specifically with Cody and Brandy, Tony is a whole different conversation to have. But I say this a lot, but damn it, I mean it every single time. Those people just insist upon themselves, and it's not. We don't want it. The people, the avid
forgetting the Young Bucks too.
Viewer. Oh, please. Don't get me started on the little niggas.
Look at that tag division and look at the teams in that division and think of how much better it should be and
right.
compared to what they promised it was going to be 3 years ago. And it's not that. This whole company is not what they said it was 3 years ago yesterday when they launched this company.
Like, it's for the avid AEW viewer, they have to sit here and endure this when, like you said, all these promises were being given. Why did Cody just win a TNT championship when Sammy is supposed to be one of your pillars of AEW and he just won his first title on the company?
And really, Sammy should have never won it. Sammy shouldn't have won it. Because Miro.
Yeah, I was saying Miro. Yeah, I wasn't cool with that.
Lost in the Shuffle Award winner Miro.
Yeah, if he beat somebody else, I'm cool. But I was digging the Miro gimmick and his run with the belt. So that was
he didn't even do shit with it.
Yeah,
he beat Sammy Friend.
Yeah. But then and Brandy is just honestly when I first
self-indulgence is not the word.
When I watched that promo, I couldn't get angry. I couldn't rage. I wanted to cry. I genuinely wanted to weep real tears.
I was shaking, bro.
This woman, her position is the chief brand officer of this company. If you don't do nothing else, your chief objective is to represent yourself and the company in the highest regard. How in the hell, in 2 promos that you had this year, have you done that? Like, every time you show up on TV, it just another step down.
You know what?
That quote from her,
I'm a black bitch.
Set us back so many years.
Yeah, like is messed up because like black women, they got it bad enough, man.
Yes.
Like black women have it bad enough in America, right?
Oh,
as far as like representation goes, like it's just starting in the last like 5 years. It's just starting to kind of turn around that representation. Like, and you go out there and you say that while being married to a white man, fathering his mothering his child. Like, you know how people look at black women like her, and she's brave for, an interracial relationship with a white man. That's brave. Like, still to this day, that's still brave because of the perception right amongst white people, especially clearly as we see the type of white people who she's around consistently, the type of white people who patronize the company she works for. Seeing how they felt about Big Swole, I can only imagine how they would feel about Brandy if she had no association with Cody Rhodes. So for her to go out there and say that, it sets us back. Like I said, man, last year I was watching WrestleMania with tears in my eyes because for the first time ever in my life, I saw I'm getting chills saying it right now. I saw 2 black women main event the biggest wrestling event that you can have on an annual basis. And literally in the same year, I saw it get set back with one line, with 4 words. I'm a black bitch. It set that back in my eyes. That's why we disassociate from it, because it can't do that. I like how. Go ahead.
I'm not gonna accuse nobody of this, but this whole thing about the black women that you are featuring on your show referring to themselves as bitches, that's gonna stop. Because Jade does the same thing with all this "I'm that bitch," like, and now here you go with this. You don't see nobody else doing that.
You know who Jade stole that from, right?
Who?
I got you. Hold on. I got you, dog. I got you, dog. You know who she stole that from, right? God. You know who she stole that from, right? You know who she stole that from, right?
Man. Listen.
She definitely was calling herself that about a year ago.
That is true. That is true. But like that's starting to feel like a pattern, and I'm uncomfortable enough with the shit that's been going on. I don't need to be anymore.
Yeah.
So that was another warning flag for me. It's just
I've been looking for a reason myself. Like, I like wrestling a lot. There's a lot of people on this show I like, so I watch for that. Bryan Danielson came in. I love me some Bryan Danielson back in like 2008. That's when I found out about him. Love the guy. Adam Cole. I like that guy. It even brought in some other people. Like when they brought in Kyle O'Reilly, I was like, but I like Kyle O'Reilly, and I did not like what Kyle O'Reilly was doing in 2021. So I was interested in seeing what he could change up and do something different, which is another problem with AEW. People don't do anything different. Wrestlers are afraid to change. They do the same shit that they've been doing since the early 2000s, 2010s. These indie wrestlers, nothing different. It's a crazy mess, man. And yeah. Whew. Vince McMahon logged on Twitter. And he said, this ain't true, but I'll say this is what he said. He said, I stopped by one of my biggest haters' funerals to make sure he was actually dead. Hashtag RIP Bozo. But yeah, man, we promised y'all at the beginning of the year, we promised y'all an update on the audit, the AEW audit. But like I said, we gotta watch it. I don't care going forward. This company is gonna have to be under new management, or they're gonna have to close down. I'm gonna go listen to our award show from 2019 because I believe on there I said something about AEW closing their doors down at some point in this decade, and it might be a lot sooner than that. But I will come back with that next week. And that'll be probably the last time we talk about AEW on this show. But
he already closed out our ROH.
Ring of Honor closed down, and I predicted that. So, but the audit, I did not go fully in depth because, like, at this point, I don't really care. Like, I don't care how we're represented on the show that I don't watch. December 2021. This is the final. This is the final for the year. The final tally. 94 matches that feature Black talent on television. It's either Dynamite, Rampage, or pay-per-view. And I'm counting like buy-ins as well. 37 wins, 57 losses for a percentage of 39%. 39% win percentage. In December, this is the only month in December where every single televised show had some Black talent on it. Cool. 10 out of 10. That's dope. We had 6 wins in 13 matches. I'm not going to break down all of that because I did not do it. But yeah. So they almost hit 100 matches with Black people. Probably could have had more. Could have had a lot more because there were a lot of episodes where we weren't featured. Let me just run it back. I'm going to tell you, like, in the first month of the year, we had 4 shows, 4 episodes of Dynamite. It was Black people only on 1 show, and that was 1 match. Shit like that. You could have had more matches that featured us. Could have had more wins. You talked about how, like, Nyla Rose and Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn winning matches. Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn winning these matches were Matt Hardy, and they don't even have any factor into the finish at all. So, like, that's crazy. They was on the side, on the winning side. They didn't really contribute to it. But I don't know. That's what that is, man. And I'm glad they showed, they true self before I spent money on them this upcoming year. Man. Because I'm pretty sure they're coming back to Vegas for Double or Nothing. And I was anticipating being there. I wanted to be there the last 2 years because I was there on the first episode of Double or Nothing. And I wanted to make it a thing where I attend Double or Nothing every single year, but you're going to have to pay me a whole lot of money, or I'm going to have to be invited via a third party or something for me to really be surrounding that. And then we're going to have them words in person.
Yeah.
We might have to have them words in person because for you to really get it. But knowing Tony Khan, he's so thin-skinned, he gets security real quick.
But you know something too? I saw this and it really showed me like this is inherited. Like this is not something that's just specific to Tony or nothing like that. So this tweet came up from Down for the Count, I think that is who did the show with Matt and them on Smack in the Raw.
Yeah.
And basically she told this story how her dad went to a speaking engagement for a motivational speaker, and the Elder Khan was there. talking about,
Big
how
mustache con.
Yeah, he's talking about, how he, worked his way through adversity and, got to become the owner of the Jags.
But he really did though.
But this is the thing. When Dude got back to tell her about it, his quote was, Dude basically sat up there for 45 minutes sucking his own dick. And because like dude, he got to be around a lot of, people in high places. He got to, talk to him and stuff like that backstage. And the people around him all had the same vibe when he would show up, like, oh man, here come this nigga too. Like,
you talking about Shad or Tony?
Shad.
Okay.
So all these people like higher up in positions of, that are up there, they're all like, oh man, they can't stand this dude either. So basically, this whole family is just like so far up their own ass, they can't see the sky. Like, it's bad. Like, this is some inherited behavior. This is terrible.
Did you I don't know if you've seen this, but like all over Twitter, you got Jaguars fans. It's kind of bright. I might turn that down some. Hold up. They making that they Abby. The clown emoji.
Man. Oh man.
Speaking of the Jaguars, they lost to my Patriots 50-10 today. While we were recording.
Insane.
So
insanity.
Yeah, it's icing on top of the cake for me. I like it. I
don't know why they showed up.
I don't know why they exist, to be honest with you. They shouldn't be allowed to get a number 1 pick again next year. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Thank you if you listen this far to our this is the longest rant we have ever done. This is the longest peasant of the week ever. Honestly, I feel like if we don't have enough qualifying, if there's no true qualifying peasant, I think we good for the month.
Oh yeah.
Like
easily.
No. This is peasant of the month. You are peasant of the year already. Like, we don't got to hand that award out at the end of the year. Like, this is 100%. This segment might have peaked here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm hopeful that we don't get beyond this, but I don't see it peaking past this.
If and I would not be surprised, but if Tony Khan can, pun slightly intended, if he can trump this last effort, I wouldn't be surprised. So only time will tell, man. Only time will tell. Hopefully. Oh man. Hopefully some things change, man.
Yeah.
Like, hopefully that change they seeking out is cool. But for that, we had a slightly okay pay-per-view last night. WWE did their day one. I mean, I know some things happened that if it wasn't for Mother Nature, probably wouldn't have happened. But at the same time, Mother Nature ain't the one with the book in their hand writing the matches up. So
I'm gonna touch on that too, because I'm about sick of y'all bitching and moaning. But let's
get into it. Like maybe an hour or two before the show, we get some breaking news, some breaking news that is kind of scary given the circumstances we know about this man. But Roman Reigns, he out with the vid, man. He got the COVID-19, came on Twitter, talked about how he tested positive. He's not going to be competing at the pay-per-view. And I mean, there's a part of me looking like I'm not a negative Nancy over this. Roman's in a lot of good shape. He's very healthy. I know he takes care of himself because he's immunocompromised. So I feel like Roman Reigns is going to be fine going forward. I don't feel like anything is, dire to happen. So I didn't feel bad having this mindset like, whew, because I didn't know what direction they was going to go with this match with Brock. And I was kind of scared Brock was going to beat him. And I did not want the title reign to end in that manner. So it was kind of a slightly blessing in disguise. But they added Brock to the Fatal 4-Way title match. Big E, Seth, KO, Bobby Lashley. And then I got hyped. Yo, we getting Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar in the ring for the first time ever. So, like, I couldn't be mad. On the kickoff show, I did not watch the kickoff. Did you?
I was like, I had it on in the background, so I could see what was going on.
Sheamus and Ridge Holland defeat Cesaro and Ricochet. I heard Ricochet busted Ridge open like crazy. I haven't seen it, but
and that's my thing with guys and doing certain, some of these moves with these flips and stuff like that. It's like
you don't have no control over it.
Yeah, it's like when you do some of these moves, it's like you can't try to innovate all the time. It's like he was so close to him that it's like you had so much room for error. Because like Cesaro basically just gave him that quick flip at right here at hip level. So it's like he wasn't gonna get full rotation without something happening. And that something that happened is he basically stomped on this nigga's face and broke his nose.
Now you seen Dante Martin almost bust his ass a few weeks ago, trying to do some crazy stuff. So y'all maybe should slow down on some of that stuff. Like I get it, it pops the crowd, but like folks is getting hurt out here for real. Like but
Ridge was just out with a broken leg like last year. Like, come on,
you gonna make this man retire? Like, Ridge Holland could he could act. I think like he could get into Hollywood if he wanted to. Yeah, because he got the look. That's really all you need. You got the look, you got the combat skill. Like, you don't get a job in Hollywood easily with just those two things. Yeah. Like, I mean, as long as your attitude is right, you good. So you're gonna make this man retire. Y'all keep fucking with him.
Facts.
Like, he got some potential. Y'all about to just mess it up. Like, be careful. But on the main show, you can't have a show called Day One and not have the Usos kick off your show. Day one-ish. The Usos defeat the New Day for the SmackDown tag team titles. And I think we saw that coming. But yeah, these teams, like we said, they don't miss ever. They've never missed. Not in promos, not in segments, not in matches. Whole feuds, they don't miss. A+ for me. It's an A+. Initially, it got an A, but I gave it a plus because the Usos won with the Dudley Death Drop. They hit a 3D for the win. Come on now. I think it was to Kofi or was it to Woods?
I think it was Kofi.
Okay, I remember Woods took one of my favorite 3Ds ever. So yeah, I was hoping it was him. He sold the hell out of it too. What do you think of this match, man?
Yeah, I'm giving A+ because it was match of the night easily.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like we know this already. It's they don't have bad matches. They give you something fresh every time. The chemistry is off the chart. It's like we know what the deal was already. I had the Usos winning because they had been taking some L's over the last couple of weeks, so it was just set up. Yeah. But I mean, this on this card, I don't think there was a better match even close to it. And I mean, might have been some competition if Roman hadn't come down with Rona, but that's just me. I'm sticking with this one.
I know I had New Day as my tag team of the year. But you think the Usos the best tag team in wrestling right now? Because like this run they on recently, like it's something different. Like this bloodline is different from what they've been doing before.
Exactly. Like honestly, I would make a strong argument for it. Because as much as
I can't think of nobody across any company that's killing them right now.
Yeah, like as much as like they have the occasional non-title match that they might lose. But it's like when it's crunch time, when they got on like some big matches, titles on the line,
locked down.
Like they just go into a whole different mode, and it's like, how do you surpass that? Who's really touching them in that regard? I don't see nobody, honestly.
In the words of Keith Sweat, nobody. Next up, we had Drew McIntyre defeated Madcap Moss. This match was just slightly under 10 minutes. I don't know why. So like I was watching on my phone because I wasn't by my TV yet. And this match came on, so I was like, all right, I ain't gonna miss nothing. About like 7 minutes went past and I got to my TV, I got it loaded up. And the match was still going. And the match was on for another like 2 minutes after I turned the TV up. I was like, damn, bro. Yeah, Drew hit a Claymore for the win. I mean, no offense to Madcap Moss as a person, not even just as a talent. The character is kind of jumped the shark already. And you know I love me some Corbin. But yeah, man. But I'm not even gonna grade this. I'm giving this an incomplete. I thought the backstage angle was actually more intriguing than the match was. Yeah. But yeah, I don't even know what they're gonna do with that. Thoughts.
Oh man, yeah. So I'll give it like a C-. Like it's not the worst match.
It wasn't terrible from the little bit I saw,
but it was too damn long, and it was just not it. Like, I know we said we don't want to see Drew in no more title matches for a while, but that don't mean you got to throw him in some shit like this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like, you will never hear me say this again.
I would have rather see him and Corbin.
Right. And that's also like, you will never hear me say this again. I'm going to say it one time and get out the way. I'm not going to repeat it. But hell, at this point, Corbin deserves better than this. This Madcap Moss shit. Like, come on, man.
How this nigga go bankrupt again, man?
Basically, like,
that was the best work he did in his career, and it lasted for 2 months. So.
Like, you backtracking him into the wrong direction. Like, we don't need to do that.
Yeah. This might be worse than the Constable.
Oh, yeah, the Constable was bad.
Like, this might be worse than that. Because at least with the Constable, like, he was like getting his ass beat by like Braun and all them. Not consistently, but he also had Drew and Bobby and Dolph. Like, he had a crew full of dudes you wanted to see with him. Yeah, so it made it a little bit more digestible.
The Constable thing at least had my attention for a good while. Yeah. This is just, I just don't even.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's overdone.
Like, if I see it on SmackDown or anything, I just skip it because I'm not doing this with y'all.
Yeah. But later on backstage, yeah, man. What I've been waiting for. I've been waiting to talk about this. WWE. Every now and again, they had like they new like favorite hottest group in music, and it was like Florida Georgia Line a couple years ago. Y'all remember them?
Oh my God.
But today is Migos live from Atlanta. They in their hometown. One Takeoff. When did Takeoff start speaking clearly?
Oh, never. Stop it.
He was on I don't know if y'all listen to Roddy Ricch. I love Roddy Ricch. Takeoff was on a Roddy Ricch album that just came out a few weeks back. And this man was like, came on the song rapping. I heard every word clearly. I didn't even know it was him. This man was speaking proper English, all that. You remember, like, this man went viral a few years back. You didn't hear a word he said. Who said I got a little bambougie? Somebody said I got a little bambougie. But now he talking clean. He's speaking proper sentences. Like, sounds like he was on Sorry to Bother You.
Nah, he was really strict.
I know. Hey, speech therapy at work, man. He might have just laid off the lean. That might have just been what it was. Anyway, Quavo's talking about how, he gonna jump off the turnbuckle, all this, like Ric Flair drip, Offset. This Offset like third time being on WWE TV. So it was hype. All them around my age, it's cool. Like Bad Bunny, I think is like a couple years younger than me. Seeing him, living out his dream and stuff, it's dope. I like seeing it. Even though these dudes got money and they got fame, it's still dope to see. Like, because they turn to little kids. They don't turn to celebrities no more. Like, they the fans for real.
Hell yeah.
And so they tease a little something. I thought they was gonna perform or something later on. But no, we coming up for the Raw Tag Team Championships, and they introduced RK Bro, and they said, I wasn't even looking at the TV. They said, accompanied by Migos, and my 21-year-old self. I've been waiting for this since I was 21 years old, bro.
Hashtag Migos Orton.
Hashtag Migos Orton, and because of that, this match. A plus 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 because all right, let me give y'all a little backstory on Migos Orton. It's a couple brothers I follow. Narky is his name. Josh is another dude named like Phenomenal something. There's another dude I forgot. I'm sorry, but shout out to Migos or hashtag Migos Orton. We were the team that contributed to this trend on Vine back in 2014. Had a lot of them. You can go look up the Migos Orton hashtag on Twitter, change over the videos, and you can see them all. And it was hot. Like we was popping on Vine. Like Migos knew about it because they posted Migos Orton, the picture of, and the reason why Migos Orton came to be, it wasn't just random by us. It was random by them because it was a picture of Takeoff, Offset, and Randy Orton in the airport. And I thought like Randy Orton was like about to replace Quavo or something, but I really wanted to see it. So even Migos acknowledged it. They acknowledged the trend. I remember like on Vine, I had a really funny ass one. And like Big Sean liked it on my page. Like Big Sean, like a couple other celebrities, like Migos. I think a couple of them did it. That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
So y'all wasn't outside, yo. I'm just saying y'all were not outside during this time.
They weren't shooting in the gym.
Nah, that was my peak on social media. I've never gone as viral since then, and that was 8 years ago. But the match was cool too. I mean, like I didn't pay attention to the match because I was just geek. I was just scrolling Twitter, like, yo, finally, like we had been trying to get WWE to acknowledge it for years. Like we was trying to push for it to get nominated for a Slammy and all that. And the wrong Randy Orton viral trend got nominated for a Slammy, the out of nowhere one.
Yeah.
That was fun times. It was fun times. I'm reminiscing. But the match was good too. I mean, Street Profits, they always great. I don't know if y'all been paying attention, but they've been kind of teasing that heel turn the last few weeks. Like the energy is just not there. Like you notice we ain't even got no backstage promos from them in a very long time.
Yeah.
And like Montez Ford has been showcasing this different type of intensity. Even Dawkins, like I remember Dawkins was talking shit during the match last night. So like,
oh yeah,
pay close attention. I rambled. I'm sorry. Your thoughts?
I'm gonna give it a B. I was going for Street Profits. I thought they was just gonna take them belts to start the year off right to kind of stick it to.
You know how I knew they weren't?
What?
When they set that matchup for New Year's Evil.
Which one?
MSK and Riddle.
Oh yeah.
My bad. Right. I got another email. Let me close my email app down so I don't keep getting buzzes. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
When they set that matchup, I was like, okay, yeah, RK Bro gonna win because.
Yeah, I forgot about that too. But no, I was like, I was going for them. I'm like, you know what? They can start the year off right and stick it to almost exclusively white, and then they could get a head start on start teasing the breakup between RK Bro. But Street Profits is another team that when they on, they don't really miss either. I also could see the little cracks in the armor between him and Docs. I will say this: if that happens, you might be seeing Doc on that exclusive list that comes out every quarter.
Yep.
Because Tez is the star, and it's not even a discussion. So Docs I fear for in the singles competition. So if it happens, it happens. But just don't be surprised.
I ain't gonna be surprised. Dogs came into 2022 still swagless. So what swagger you bringing, sir? You ain't brought it in 5 years.
Like Tez came in with the genuine braids.
Oh God, it look like his whole life has changed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Came in going crazy.
On one.
Hey, next match, man. Edge defeated The Miz. And I'm gonna give this a B, man. I wasn't expecting it to be like on Seth Rollins and Randy Orton level matches for Edge. Like it's definitely a cool down from what we've been getting from him for the 2 years he's been back. He's been back for 2 years. Damn. But I think Edge might be the best in the world right now, bro.
Could be.
Like, which is crazy. Like, dude was gone 10 years. He almost 50.
Mm-hmm.
He the best in the world. It's arguable. Like,
if you look at
on a high level like him, I don't know nobody.
If you
besides
look at,
Bryan Danielson, that's probably the only person I put neck and neck.
Yeah.
Like Roman do his shit too. But as far as like straight up 100% intensity, like Roman not intense the whole match like them two.
Nah.
Like Roman, Roman fuck you up, talk his shit a little bit. He might sell for you a little bit, but then he just go at you. He the final boss. He on a different stratosphere. But as far as like straight up in-ring work from bell to bell, it's Edge and Bryan. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I might put Bryan over him a little bit because he wrestled more consistently.
Oh yeah, because that the I was gonna say DB. The BD work rate is something different.
Oh, it's next level.
Yeah.
But Edge for real. He had the Brood theme, came out with that, and it actually made me mad because we didn't have no pyro at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
all the pyro
last night. I mean, the way the stage was set up, they couldn't do it, but
set that shit up differently next time.
That's how right, like that's how it was supposed to be when he came out. You know what I'm saying? It would have hit different.
Yeah, and Beth Phoenix, she came out even the odds, which I thought we weren't gonna see Beth until like Monday.
Right.
Like I thought Monday at the latest, so like that kind of shocked me. She came out with the Bull Nakano.
Yes.
Love that.
That was the first thing I thought when I seen that. I'm like, okay,
100%.
I dig it.
I mean, run that mixed tag in St. Louis then. Shit. Royal Rumble coming up 29. Let's get it. What you think about this?
I'm right with you. I think like it was decent, but it wasn't quite. I guess we got spoiled because we saw him in so many bangers over the last 2 years now.
Yeah.
But this is more of a fresher face. Like they've had matches in the past, but this was like first career Edge, not second career Edge. So it's like it's
how they fought before?
Time. I thought they did.
Let me go double check that. I'll be right back at y'all.
I would say like it was probably like 2010 or something like that. But yeah, it's like it's gonna take some time to kind of get to where they want to be with it.
That sounds about right, actually. Now that you said
it. Yeah. But no, it was still decent. Like Edge can work with pretty much anybody. That's why I would agree. Like that conversation about him being the best right now, it's a valid argument because it's like in terms of his creativity, the way he works, the promos, it's like when you look at the whole body of work, it's like you're hard pressed to find anybody that's genuinely doing it better at that level today, right now. And the Miz too. It's like he's the Miz has come so far, which is what they've been talking about throughout the whole feud. He's come so far from where he was in 06, 07. Hell, even 2010. It's like there's been such a leap forward that now, he's that guy that brings along a new talent, like working the Bad Bunny match at Mania. It's like, seeing these two guys come together, it's like, I would love to see them running back in a different setting, but it was good for what it was.
For sure. And actually they fought a handful of times, like one-on-one on television. 2010, February 2010 on SmackDown, they had a match 11 minutes. They had a match on Monday Night Raw, January 2011. That was a DQ. That was 16 minutes. And the very next week, they had a rematch, and that was about 8 minutes long. That was the last time they fought before last night. So, yeah, I did not know that. I'm gonna have to check those other matches out and see like the context around them and everything. But yeah, it was cool. Next up for the Raw Women's Championship, Becky Lynch defeated Liv Morgan. I'm gonna give this a B-. The crowd was hot for it though, man. I thought the Raw match was just slightly better. I think with the Raw match, we didn't know who was gonna win. Like we really didn't know who was gonna win. I knew Liv wasn't winning here at this pay-per-view though. So, but she did show that she has staying power in this position, and I think like she can get one of those Alexa Bliss type runs.
Yeah.
At some point, but what do you think?
I was expecting to really be disappointed, and I don't know why, but it was like Liv has been showing over the last couple of weeks that she's not that third wheel in the wide squad from 3 years ago, and they're building this sympathetic stature around her. Like they're making her, they're giving her the Daniel Bryan treatment almost. Yeah, it's man. Like she getting beat down by the top dog over and over and over again, and it's like, for me, it was just, why are we doing that if we're just going to keep giving her one-on-one shots and she's going to keep losing? Like this one was basically clean. I know Becky was trying to like put her foot on the ropes towards the end, but it was basically clean. Yeah. And I don't know what Asia was doing with all the slow counts all match long. Like I started to say it the first time, but then I'm just like, okay, wait a minute. Like if I was Liv, me and her would have had some words, because I'm like, yo, what's going on with you counting tonight?
Hey, I don't know. Same thing to Naomi, man.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. Like, you still on payroll? Because we ain't forget about that on SmackDown.
Right.
But that's another story. But like, my thing is like, Becky doesn't need to win everyone. I said this before. She don't need to win every single one. Like, if you're gonna have like a brief run with Liv just to see what it looks like, and Becky wins it back in like the Rumble or something, do that. Becky's enough of a star that she can survive that with no problem whatsoever. But I mean, it's like, where does Liv go from here at this point? Like I said, Rumble? after the Raw match, I wanted her to win the Rumble, but there's a lot of possibilities on the Rumble. You got Bayley probably coming back. You got Alexa probably coming back. It's like
Sasha
now, yeah. So it's like, now I don't know how I would feel about that at this point. So it's like, great match. I'll give it a B+, but it's like, I kind of got that feeling of like, this is a missed opportunity too.
Yeah. And then our main event, we have Brock Lesnar. You heard that right. Brock Lesnar, the late edition, wins the WWE Championship for, I think, the 6th time.
Yeah.
6.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, he pinned Big E. So, the first thing I thought of when that happened, I was like, damn, he knocked off 2 out of 3. So
it's bad.
King Xavier for the Rumble. But we got Brock and Lashley for the first time. Finally, like, one of them speared the other through the barrier. I can't remember who, but listen.
Big meaty man slapping me.
This is what I've been waiting for. I'm going to talk about that in a brief second. But this match in particular, it reminded me of SummerSlam 2017, that Fatal 4-Way. But it was Brock, Joe, Braun. I'm forgetting the other person.
Roman.
Was it Roman? Okay. Yep. Yeah, that was what this was. It was like a car crash. It was just full throttle chaos. And that's how these type of matches should be. And as long as like we still get Bobby and Brock, I'm not really mad at the result here. Because as long as that's the trajectory, it didn't necessarily need the belt. But as long as that's the end game, and y'all can do it at the Rumble, y'all can do it at Mania. Let's do it at Mania. Everything's bigger in Texas. That's what they say, right?
Exactly.
Do this at Mania. Have Bobby win it at Mania. That's how you're supposed to do. But I think what this is going to do also, you freshen up Big E. I know like his title reign was kind of falling flat after about like the first initial honeymoon period. Freshen him up, let him get it back. Like he gonna get back. Like he did everything right. He did everything right. It no offense to Kofi, but it was more of a realistic thing than Kofi. That's the word I'm trying to find. I don't think that's the right word that I want to say, but it was more realistic, I think. Kofi, after the initial win, they didn't really know what to do with it because he also wasn't their first choice. So, and he held it for half of a year still. But Big E, how long Big E had? He won in what? August?
No.
It was after SummerSlam.
September.
Okay. Yeah, it was about 3 months, which is, I think, is appropriate amount of time for a reign like that. 3 months. You don't want to have him hold it too long. But I'm gonna give this a C though, because I wanted to see a little bit more of the action, because like I was just getting into it and then it was over. And I'm like, damn, it was still good though. I just didn't get into it as much as I wanted to. And then the audible they called, like at the time, it didn't hit with me. It was kind of deflating because it was so short.
Yeah.
It was just like, damn, already it's over. And he won, and Big E lost like that, and he got pinned. But it was crazy. I really wanted to see him hit that big ending on Brock though, and I was kind of upset that we didn't get that either. Do you see that picture of Brock and Wayne Gretzky though?
Yeah.
What are the odds they run into each other?
That's random as hell. I ain't mad at it.
Right. What'd you think about this?
So I'm giving it a C+. Mainly because, like you said, they ran a little too short for me. Like they definitely had time to work with. I think they still had like 15 minutes before the show was scheduled to go off air. So they had plenty of time they could have worked with. And the way they were working that match is like they were just having fun putting shit together. You could have took that in a little bit longer. You could have advanced some more stories. Work with the time that you got. You know, usually that problem is going over. This time they went under. Y'all could have stretched it a little bit more. Listen, y'all. And if I go into rant territory, I'm sorry because we've been rant heavy this episode, but this is the deal.
It's ready though.
Yeah.
It's queued up.
So listen, when Brock got added into this match, let's not pretend we didn't know what time it was already. Like, look, if there is ever an audible when that involves Brock Lesnar, it means he's going over. That's been the MO since he came back, and especially since 2015 when he started winning belts again. It's like this is what it is. But my issue is with y'all that are crying doom and gloom about Big E losing this title. First of all, you mentioned this already. Big E is not Kofi Kingston. I'm sorry, I hate to say this about Kofi, but realistically, his career has peaked. He's not going to win another championship. He's on the wrong side of 30. Not that that's a big deal in wrestling, but
he on the wrong side of 30. He on the side of 40.
Oh, he is 40.
He has crossed the 40 threshold already.
That's right. So yeah, so he's on that trajectory now that it's like they're not going to get a lot of runs. They didn't know what to do with Kofi the first time he won the belt. It was a feel-good moment. They hand gifted that to us for WrestleMania, for us, the community, and that was it. That was notoriety. Big E has always been someone that they said, damn, if we mold this guy and we get him to where we want him to be, he's going to be somebody. So are we going to sit here and suggest that Big E's not going to get another run longer with the belt? He has been the body of work that he's given in the last 2 years alone. He's entertaining as hell. You know, when he shows up against bigger guys and more like high profile guys, it's like he rises to that challenge. So yes, he took the pin to Brock. He's one of the two crew of the New Day that's lost to Brock Lesnar for the title. Okay, I get it. But the fact of the matter is, what was the alternative? The alternative was Brock more than likely beats Roman for the Universal title. Roman Reigns, mind you, who is the tribal chief, who is the best thing smoking on WWE today, right now. You turn on TV, you're watching wrestling mainly because of Roman Reigns. We're not talking about die Rocky die Roman Reigns. We're talking about the one Roman Reigns. So your alternative was for Brock Lesnar to beat Roman Reigns. Now let me tell you the problem with that. Roman Reigns is at the point right now where he is that dominant monster heel. What's the objective of that role? To put the next guy over. Hashtag, like, remember Triple H, Reign of Terror? Mm-hmm. How many people did he put over? Did we not get Batista out of that realm? Did we not get that? John Cena had to go through Triple H before he was officially the man. You know what I'm saying? That's the goal here. So if Brock Lesnar beats Roman Reigns on not even a B, I would say this is a C pay-per-view for the main championship, what was the point? Because now the next guy that comes up on the incline that's coming up on the map that to go over beating Roman Reigns is not going to hit the same. That was the purpose of that. So you would rather that happen.
It was a blessing in disguise.
Exactly. Then, Big E taking a loss. Okay, it's his first title reign, and we were happy for Big E. But it's like, again, he will be back. It's clearly a segue into another program. And hello, we said this already. Brock, Bobby. How many years have we been clamoring for that dream matchup? And if it happens at WrestleMania, exactly. And if it does happen at WrestleMania, how did this not cross anybody's mind that Bobby Lashley could go into WrestleMania, beat Brock Lesnar for the title, and once again be the almighty WWE champion? Like, we just had 2 black champions back to back. Stop being overly reactive to this stuff. Like, you knew it was status quo had to come back at some point in time. We're not gonna have fun forever. Okay.
I seen somebody. Bad. I seen somebody was like, more black people are challenged for the AEW championship than the Universal Championship in its existence, and I'm like, okay, but like we look at the other belt though. Let's look at the other belt. Like, okay, yeah, but that title has been around 5 years. One of the guys that held the championships, he held it for almost 2 years and was barely around.
Right.
The only match, and it's crazy because I remember what match that was. It was Kofi versus Seth the night after Mania. That was the only time a black person competed for the title.
Right. Yeah,
which, I mean, like, okay, yeah, I get what you're trying to say with that, but it's like you grasping at straws at that point because, like, it's that whataboutism. It's like, well, what about WWE? Look what they did. Like, and they've learned from their mistakes. Like, they're not holding back pushing black talent. They're not coming up with excuses to push black talent. But that was our first segment. This is now. Bad.
It's like, y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop this, jumping back into misery shit. Like, we're not in the same time period. We're not. This isn't even 2017 or 2016 where we still having those conversations. We're in a period where 2 black women who we talked about in the beginning of the show just main evented WrestleMania. Main evented WrestleMania. We had Bobby Lashley was champion going into and leaving WrestleMania. Like, he passed the championship on to E. Like, that's what we just had.
We had a Nigerian and a Jamaican in a title match at WrestleMania this year, last year as well.
Right.
Don't you hate at the beginning of the year when you just keep saying this year, but it's definitely last year? Don't you hate that?
Yeah. It's like Apollo switched his gimmick up. He got a title run. It's like, listen, like I said, we're not in the same time frame, right? And y'all just the slightest thing y'all want to switch the timer back. We're not talking about almost exclusively white here. Like, that's not going to be an issue. So
it's saying white wrestling entertainment no more, man.
Right. Like, this is a short term, basically a segue into the next thing. Brock is at that point where it's like, unless they need something from him, he's not going to hold the title long. He only held the Universal title for so long because they couldn't get Roman over, and realistically, they didn't have no one else that could carry the belt realistically that they could market for that time period. That's really what that was about.
Yeah.
Outside of that, Brock doesn't hold the title for long. So if this means that we're going to get what we want, like we said, the dream match, stop being greedy. Like, be thankful. Man. Come on, man.
Also, let's look at this. Like, look, one thing they were hammering home the whole entire night was how Seth Rollins earned his championship in that ladder match, and then how all these people kept getting added to it. Like, they deliberately hammered that home multiple times. So yeah, that's probably gonna play a factor. Like, there was a moment where Kevin Owens was complaining about how Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar got added to the match when he himself weaseled his way into the match, and he had zero accountability for that. So when they do things deliberately, they're gonna touch on it. Sometimes they forget, and sometimes they won't. And there have been times I was wrong. Finn Balor, I was wrong about that. I admit it. Bray Wyatt, I was wrong about that. But the track record it speaks differently. So, like, there's a reason why I have that mindset. Because, like, sometimes they do deliberately do things, and it's for a reason. So, yeah.
It's an audible.
Yeah, they call audible for a reason.
Like y'all know what this is by now.
And if we wrong, we'll admit that. But
yeah, like listen. If they don't change course and they still give us Roman versus Brock in some form,
somehow,
I heard some people talking about a champion versus champion match. If that happens, okay, cool. I'm gonna switch gears and I'm gonna go on a whole real rant about that.
Why do I want to see a champion versus champion match 6 months after I just saw one on another pay-per-view? So let's not do that.
Yeah.
But let's talk about NXT 2.0 New Year's Evil this upcoming Tuesday. We'll knock this out, get up out of here. It's been a very jam-packed, emotional episode. It's the best episode we've done this year, though. So, facts. Am I wrong? NXT 2.0. We got 4 matches on deck so far. I'm looking forward to every last one of these, though. Let's talk about the 6-man tag. We got Matt Riddle and MSK taking on Imperium and Walter back. And this segment actually had me hyped because, like, I don't know. The intrigue of seeing Walter and Matt Riddle together in the ring, just fucking each other up.
Yeah.
And Walter just that big old frying pan hand of his right against Riddle's chest. It just be all red. What's going to be redder, Matt Riddle's chest or his eyes?
Listen, man, I know we got friends of the show that are very, or I'll say aren't very receptive of Matt Riddle.
But come on, Riddle versus Walter, come on now.
Exactly. Like,
come on now.
Riddle is one of those guys that's tailor-made to have a banger with Walter. So just off the strength of that alone, like, I can't not get excited for that aspect of it. Like, MSK and Imperium, they actually had a dope match last time they came out, but
yeah,
that right there, added them to, you got me this time. Like that's really gonna be fire. I'm looking forward to that.
And then we got I see a certain matches not on this card that I thought was on the card, and I don't know why it's not. Anyway, I'm sorry. Who you got winning this match?
Probably Imperium and Walter.
Yeah. I don't see MSK and them winning, but also I think would negate the whole point of like him being a shaman or whatever. But I don't know. Yeah. I got Imperium winning too.
Walter didn't come back across the pond just to lose.
Oh no,
like,
no.
That ain't happening.
Nah. I thought we were gonna have AJ Styles versus Grayson Waller. I thought they announced that, but I don't see it anywhere. But if they do have it, I think we can all agree AJ Styles probably win this match.
Oh yeah, you got to.
Yeah, you got to put that boy in his place, man. That's the only way you can do it. He can't go down there being an embarrassment. Next up, the unification match for the North American and Cruiserweight Championships. And the Cruiserweight title had a nice run over the last 5 and some change of years. It's time to come to an end here. Carmelo Hayes, Roderick Strong, who you got?
Yeah, I already know what time it is. This Melo is going to be the dual champ because he is the A champ or whatever that shit is. He says, A
champ, right. You don't miss.
Yeah. Roddy had a nice run, and that was cool. Wherever they go with Diamond Mine, I think it should be good because they got the best heater that NXT can get. But y'all got to get a different name for this new belt because what I heard is it's going to be called the NXT North American Cruiserweight title. That is too much of a mouthful for any announcer to have to say on a regular basis.
Oh no, yeah, they're gonna get rid of that after a couple of weeks. They be changing shit up. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like y'all taking these last names away, and you think we gonna hear this every week? Nah, right. It's not gonna happen. But
that's what they did with the WWE title. They was calling it the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Right.
That's too much. So same dip.
Yeah, they just suddenly died when they did the brand split again.
Yeah.
But like eventually we're gonna see Melo in that world title picture. But however long we're gonna run this, I'm with that.
Yeah, I got Melo winning too. You know what made me say like Melo a star for real? I seen like women thirsting over him on Twitter. And like it made me happy because like that's how you know somebody about to make it for real when the ladies love you.
Yeah.
So like I got excited for the prospective future of my young guy. And
since they love talking about, demos, like that's a very important one.
yeah, as you can see, they certain places don't cater to the women as much as they should. And that's I'm just saying when WWE started really catering to their women, shit changed drastically.
Right.
Like
right.
They started making a whole lot more money. I'm just saying. So yeah, you got that. Speaking of women, women's championship, Mandy Rose puts her title on the line versus Cora Jade and Raquel Gonzalez. First off, I want to say the way that they did this was kind of stupid. Like,
yeah,
y'all on the same team, bro. Why y'all mad? Who getting the pin? Y'all both getting in the match. Why does it matter? But anyway, who you got?
Like I didn't even see that. I heard about it, and I'm glad I didn't see.
Yeah, it was kind of goofy.
I just got mad. But now, Mandy's still holding it. I honestly think Cora's there to take the pin because it's not conceivable that Mandy's going to pin Raquel on two separate occasions. I'm guessing. I'm tired of trying to guess the trajectory of this, but I cannot see Raquel being on NXT another event into 2022. Like it. Yeah, it was supposed to have ended when she lost the title. I mean, War Games was one thing. Like I get it. You want to bring her back in for that one last thing, but listen, there's nothing left for her to do here. Like she doesn't need to be the one to take the fall in this, but it's about time to move her on up. There's plenty for her to work her way into on either brand. Like this needs to be it, honestly. But yeah, no, Mandy's still holding it down. Like this needs to go on for a while. Like I think with the way that she's improved over the last year, she's earned a good decent run.
Oh yeah, for sure. And in our main event, Tommaso Ciampa, Braun Breaker, part two. And they say, oh man.
I was about to do that. I was about to do that exact same shit. That's why I leaned up because I was getting ready to do the same exact thing.
They say all men are created equal. When you look at Braun Breaker and you look at Tommaso Ciampa, you see that statement is simply not true. Because Braun Breaker, he's a genetic freak. He has genetic freak DNA. And he's not normal.
Nope.
So he gonna win and walk out NXT champion. It's been brewing. It's a given. And he needs to squash this man like a bug in like 3 minutes. Because I'm not gonna accept no competitive match like the first time. Like it made sense to do that the first time because he a rookie. And this is his first big time match. But he's been around, got a little bit, more seasoning, a couple months more seasoning under his belt. It's over. It's game time. It's the Breaker era.
Yeah, man. This is how we're gonna start the new year. And I mean, we called it, way back when, like this new crop of guys, Braun is kind of the spearhead of that. Like he's gonna be the one leading the charge with all the rest of them coming through. Eventually, they're all going to get their time, but this one is it. I'm with you. I don't think this needs to be a real competitive thing. Like I know Ciampa don't go out like no punk, but I mean, realistically, this is what you built this guy up for. I mean, he's been marketable since he stepped through the curtain, and they've been kind of tiptoeing with kind of, making him like a pseudo heel almost. They need to cut that off and just say, listen, you're the bad guy. Go out there, beat this dude the hell down, take that title, and just run, be that heel champion going forward. Like that's what really needs to happen. So, I mean, however we get there, that's cool. I don't want to see this go more than like a couple minutes though. Honestly, like,
nah.
If you gonna crown this guy, you got to crown him properly.
Yeah, I'm trying to come on the show next week with this energy.
He got his ass cooked. He got cooked.
Adrian, you didn't go down like that, huh?
He got cooked.
That's what I'm trying to be like.
It gotta happen. It gotta happen, man. Like,
should be a fun show. Don't tease me with AJ Styles. Like, if he available, you know, if he don't got the vid too.
Yeah.
You know, because you know they say some, you know them rumors about AJ Styles. You know, I'm just saying. They just rumors. There's no base to them. They just rumors. But still,
yeah, I know how we feel about rumors.
Certain affiliations he may or may not rock with might put him at a higher risk of COVID. So hopefully he good.
Yeah, man.
That's NXT 2.0, and that was our first show of the year, man. Anything else?
Oh man.
Hope we didn't run y'all off. Actually, I don't care. I don't care if we ran y'all off with our first conversation. If you weren't ready for that,
real ones know what it is.
Yeah, y'all know what it is. I'm gonna say this right now. I don't think no black person should ever be supporting that company going forward after those comments.
Oh yeah.
No black wrestling fan should ever.
Yeah, that should be the end of that. Like,
I know it's the end of it for me.
I could watch, like I said, the occasional match here or there, but in terms of adding it to my schedule of shows to watch, yeah, that ain't happening. And I was just having a consistent schedule on it too. So I mean, y'all did a lot of work for nothing.
Yeah, man, it's crazy because like I've been critical about it. The same reason, like I want to see certain things different. Like it's a lot of stuff on that show that I don't really resonate with. But I was still watching because there were some things I did enjoy. But nah, y'all can't do that. Y'all can't do that, man.
Yeah.
Plug your socials, man. Let's get up out of here.
Y'all can find me at RickHavoc24 on Instagram and on Twitter. Also, make sure y'all go check out the Havoc Hour on all the streaming platforms where you find Young Kings Wrestling. And you can find the video versions up on YouTube. I actually just finished the episode Friday night, right after the ball dropped, with one of my peoples, Matt Ritter, Katie Kinsey, and my man Justin from the Get Your Podcast made an appearance too.
Hey.
We talked Spider-Man, did a little recap, reactions, how we were feeling about the movie, stuff like that. So that's gonna go up probably tomorrow. So yeah, y'all keep an eye out for that. And also go check out the page on Instagram _the Havoc Hour _ Gotta put those in there because Instagram some hoes, and I got some videos on there that they've already been coming at me about a couple of them. So gotta be careful out here.
Yeah.
And you can follow me at tc.fontaine on Instagram, at tcfontaine on Twitter. On Instagram, also at FOY Photo702. And we on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all that jazz. YK Wrestling. Links are available at ykwrestling.com. But if you want to just search at YK Wrestling, you might have to put an underscore if you're looking on Instagram.
Yeah.
Suppose.
Peasant of the year.
Peasant of the decade. But yeah, and I'm excited because I'm excited. I'm excited for 2022, man. Like it's a lot of stuff I want to do for Young Kings Wrestling, and we're gonna get at it. We got something coming for y'all, so be on the lookout. It's gonna be fun. It's time to play the game.
Yeah.
Hey, Happy New Year, y'all. And I know this don't really apply, but it kind of apply. And I have not played this soundbite yet today. So let me find it. I found it. This don't really apply to him, but it might, because it ain't his money. Tony Khan.
This broke ass bitch ass nigga.
Gone.